Hey again, this is Sandy and I'm now going to show you how to wire wrap a dainty little pearl charm. Now I'm just using a rice pearl. You can use any shape you like. So our materials are pretty basic for this one. We've just got a rice pearl and a gold-filled head pin. Again, you could use silver if you prefer. Now, as it's going to go through a pearl, the hole's always very small on a pearl, so this is only 24 gauge and it's only a short length. These gold-filled head pins do not come cheap, so I will show you some other options and other ways to make some really fancy head pins out of using gold-filled wire as another tutorial. Okay, and our tools, our chain nose pliers, round nose pliers and flat nose pliers. We won't be needing any cutters for this. Okay, so as I was talking, I just threaded that pearl onto the head pin. So all I need to do now is hold it nice and tight down the bottom, and with my chain nose pliers just grip onto that wire just above where the pearl is. Just bend it. And you don't want to make it too high because this area here is going to have the gold coil where the wire will be wrapped around after the loop's formed. So the higher you make that, the more wire you're going to need at the end, and these are short little head pins, so there's not going to be a lot of wire at the end of them. Okay, so grab onto your round nose pliers and just slide them in as close as you can get to that crease you made in your wire. Okay, and with your other hand, so hold that fairly tight with your dominant hand, and with your other hand just pull that wire around the top of your pliers and take them out and reposition. So all I've done is moved it from the top of the pliers to the bottom of the pliers, just so I can continue going around to form this loop. And there we have it. Now it's not perfect at this stage, but we will fix that in a minute. Firstly, I'm going to completely close this loop off. So just grip on with your flat nose pliers right to the end of the loop, and where that tail wire is crossing the bottom of the loop, I just want to grab with my fingers and bend that around. Okay, so at this point I'm going to need to use my chain nose pliers. This is just a short little end piece here, and I want to wrap around the wire that's holding the pearl in place. It's a little bit fiddly. Take your time. It's important to make this really neat, and when you get to this end piece it just gets a little bit too hard to work with the pliers, so you've just got to grip on quite tightly with your fingers, and with chain nose get in as close as you can here. Be careful not to scratch the pearl. Can be a little bit tricky, but just gradually work your way around till that whole tail is bent in and is a nice tight little coil. And there we have it. Now just to finish off, I just want to straighten my loop up a little bit. So pop them back into your round nose pliers and just stretch it out, wriggle it around. With your fingers you can feel when you've got that in the centre, and you want to make this as round as you can. It's a nice neat look, and that's what it looks like when it's finished. So now I can just go ahead and slide this onto my ear wire that I showed you previously how to make, and if I really wanted I could add another couple just to give a nice little cluster effect. Lots of little dangles. Let's see what 5 looks like. It might look a bit too full. Actually, it doesn't look bad at all. So there you go.